The stars were silent, but danger was close. Ethan Reeve sat in his small space shuttle, breathing fast. Sparks flew across the control panel. The screen showed a red warning: engine failure. Outside, a strange green planet was rushing toward him. He had no time to think. "Come on, stay with me," Ethan whispered, trying to restart the system, but the ship shook harder. The sky turned bright. A loud crash echoed as the shuttle hit the ground, sliding through trees and dirt, before finally stopping near a wide silver lake. Everything went quiet. For a moment, Ethan didn't move. Blood ran down his forehead. He looked around. The glass was cracked, and smoke filled the air. He pushed the door open and stepped outside, coughing. His suit was torn, and his arm hurt badly. He had never seen a place like this. The trees were glowing faint blue. Strange birds flew in the sky. The ground was soft and warm, almost alive. But there was no sign of people or help. Ethan took a deep breath and tried to walk, but he fell, his vision blurred. Just before he passed out, he saw a shadow moving toward him, tall, glowing, silent. When Ethan opened his eyes, it was night. He was lying inside a small shelter made of crystal-like walls. A cool cloth touched his forehead. He turned his head and saw her. She was unlike anything he had ever seen. Tall, graceful, with soft silver skin and bright violet eyes. Her hair floated slightly, like it was underwater. She looked calm, but curious. "You're awake," she said, her voice soft but strange. Ethan tried to speak, but his throat was dry. She held a small cup to his lips. The drink was cool and sweet. "Where am I?" he asked. "You are safe," she said. "You fell from the sky. I found you." Ethan looked at her closely. She was not human, clearly alien, but there was kindness in her eyes. "Thank you," he said. "I owe you my life." The alien woman smiled gently. She touched a small device on her wrist, and a faint blue light floated above them. It showed a symbol, a circle with a heart inside. "My name is Vera," she said. "I wish to give you something." "Something rare." Ethan blinked. "Why? You are brave," she said. "You accepted the fall. You did not fear the sky. That means something here." She reached into a silver pouch and pulled out a small glowing orb. It pulsed with soft blue light, like it was alive. She held it out with both hands, eyes lowered, like a sacred offering. Ethan didn't understand, but he felt the weight of the moment. He looked at the orb, then at her. "What is it?" he asked. "The heart of trust," she said. Ethan smiled slightly and reached out. The moment his fingers touched the orb, the ground shook faintly. A breeze rushed through the shelter. The orb melted into light and flowed into his chest. He gasped. Vera looked up, her eyes wide, but not afraid. "You have accepted," she whispered. "Accepted what?" Ethan asked, confused, but she did not answer. She only stood, walked outside, and looked up at the sky. The next morning, Ethan walked outside the shelter. He felt stronger, like his body had healed faster than normal. The air was warm. The lake nearby shimmered in the light. Vera stood near the water, holding a long staff. She did not turn when he approached. "Vera," Ethan said, "what happened last night? That orb, what did it do to me?" She was quiet for a moment. "In my world," she finally said, "the heart of trust is not just a gift. It is a bond, a promise, a promise." Ethan repeated. "A union," she said, turning to face him. "It means you have accepted me ... as your life companion." Ethan stepped back. "Wait, are you saying that was a marriage ritual?" Vera looked sad but calm. "Yes, in our culture, offering the heart means love, acceptance of the soul. You took it without knowing, but the bond is real." Ethan's heart raced. "But I didn't know. I didn't mean to. You cannot undo it easily," she said. "And there are others who will not accept this." Suddenly, the sky grew darker. A strange sound echoed from the forest. Vera's eyes narrowed. "They are coming," she whispered. "You must be ready." Ethan turned to see glowing eyes watching them from the trees. The gift was not just a symbol. It was a door to something much bigger. And now, it was too late to step back. The crowd was already waiting when Ethan stepped. Out of the crystal shelter, dozens of tall alien beings stood in silence, their glowing eyes locked on him. No one moved, no one spoke. They were dressed in armor made of living stone and light. Every face looked serious, some curious, others cold. Ethan didn't understand what was happening. Vera walked beside him, calm but distant. Her voice echoed softly, "Do not speak unless asked. Do not break the circle." "What circle?" he asked, but she didn't answer. Around them, a glowing path appeared, lines of light rising from the ground, forming a perfect ring. Ethan was standing inside it. So was Vera. The crowd bowed their heads. Then, from the far side, 3 elder aliens stepped forward. Their robes were heavy and strange symbols floated around them, as if the air obeyed their presence. The middle elder spoke, his voice deep and layered. "The bond has been accepted. The ritual is complete." Ethan raised an eyebrow. "What ritual?" "I didn't agree to anything." The elder ignored him. "He is now bound to the daughter of the flame. The heart has chosen." Gasps ran through the crowd. Some turned their faces away. One figure near the back clenched his fists. Ethan looked at Vera. "Daughter of the flame?" Vera finally met his eyes. "It means I am heir to this world's leadership. And now you are bound to me by law. You carry the mark." Ethan touched his chest. The place where the orb had melted inside him still glowed faintly, hidden under his shirt. "But I'm just a pilot," he whispered. "I'm not a leader. I'm not your husband." Vera didn't speak. Her eyes held secrets she wasn't ready to share. Suddenly, a sharp voice cut through the silence. "This bond is false." Everyone turned. A tall male alien stepped forward, his body wrapped in dark armor. His eyes burned like fire. "He is unworthy," the stranger growled. "He is not of our kind. He cannot hold the flame." Ethan stared at him. "Who is that?" Vera's voice dropped. "Kale. He was once promised to me, before the heart chose otherwise." Kale stepped into the circle. The lights flickered as he entered. "I challenge him," he said coldly. "Let the trial begin." Ethan backed away. "Wait, what trial? What are you talking about?" The elder raised his hand. "The trial of proving. A test to decide who is worthy to stand beside." The daughter, Kale, smiled. "He won't survive the first hour." Ethan looked at Vera in panic. "You've got to stop this." Vera's expression didn't change. "I cannot. The bond gave you honor. Now you must protect it." Ethan's heart pounded. Less than 2 days ago, he was flying alone through the stars. Now he was being forced into a fight for a woman he didn't know, in a world that didn't want him. The light circle around him began to rise, forming walls of energy. Kale cracked his knuckles. Vera whispered one last thing before stepping out. "You're not just fighting for me. You're fighting for your life." And then the walls closed. He didn't win the fight. He survived it. Ethan lay flat on the cold stone floor, his chest rising and falling fast. Blood dripped from his lip. His arms burned. His legs were weak. But Kale was the one who fell first. The walls of energy faded. The crowd was silent. For a long moment, no one moved. Then Vera stepped into the circle and knelt beside him. She placed her hand gently on his chest, over the spot where the heart of trust still pulsed inside him. "You were not supposed to win," she whispered. Ethan opened his eyes. "Thanks for the support." Vera didn't smile. Her face looked calm, but her eyes were heavy with thought. Later, inside the stone chamber where Ethan rested, he finally asked what had been building inside him since the crash. "Why me?" Vera didn't answer at first. She stood near the window, watching the twin moons above the trees. "You said the heart chose me," he said, sitting up slowly. "But that's not how it felt. You brought the orb. You placed it in my hands. You gave me the choice." Now she turned to him. Her voice was soft but sharper than before. "I did not lie," she said. "But I did not tell the full truth." Ethan looked at her, waiting. "There's a reason the heart reacted to you." She continued. "It only awakens in the presence of a specific kind of soul, one who has lost everything, but still chooses to save others." Ethan thought of his crew, the failed mission. "The crash, you knew I'd accept it." "I hoped," she said. "You are human, you are unpredictable. Then why risk it?" Vera stepped closer, lowering her voice. "Because the heart of trust is dying," she said. "Our world is losing its power. The flame weakens. The stars no longer listen. To us, we needed someone from beyond. Someone who could bond with it and restore balance." Ethan frowned. "So this wasn't about marriage. It was about survival?" "No," she said. "It was both. The bond is sacred. But it is also power. It links you not just to me, but to the core of this world." Ethan stood now slowly. His body ached, but his voice was steady. "So you picked me to save your world?" "Yes. And if I hadn't touched the orb? You would have died in the crash. I would have let you." The room fell silent. Ethan walked to the window, staring at the strange twin moons. "You used me. I gave you a choice." "No," he said. "You gave me hope and hid the price." Vera said nothing. Then, suddenly, a loud sound shook the chamber. A horn in the distance. The sky outside turned red. Vera's eyes went wide. "They know." "Who?" Ethan asked. "The Council of Flame. They've sensed the bond's full activation." Ethan narrowed his eyes. "And what does that mean?" Vera looked at him, her voice almost a whisper now. "It means they think you're ready for the next ritual." "What next ritual?" Her answer chilled him. "The ascension or your execution." Asterisk, it didn't begin with a fight. It began with a door. A smooth, black stone wall slid open without a sound, revealing a long tunnel glowing with soft red lights. Ethan stood at the entrance, unsure whether to step forward. "You said it would be a trial," he muttered. "This looks more like a trap." Vera stood beside him, silent. Her expression was unreadable. Ethan glanced at her. "You're not coming with me, are you?" "No," she said softly. "This is your path. I cannot guide you through it. No one can." He looked back at the tunnel. The air inside shimmered, not with heat, but with pressure, like it was alive, watching. "Trial of strength is not about muscle," Vera said. "It is about what your mind fears most. The flame shows you your weakness and asks if you still deserve to hold the bond." Ethan took a deep breath. "And if I fail?" "You disappear," she said, "like the others who came before." His heart jumped. "Wait, others?" She looked away. "We tried this with 3 before you. None returned." Ethan stepped forward slowly. "Then I guess I'm either brave or just stupid." He crossed the threshold. The door closed behind him without a sound. The tunnel twisted like a living thing. Every step Ethan took echoed, though. The ground was soft. The walls pulsed faintly with light, almost like a heartbeat. After what felt like hours, he stepped into a wide chamber. It was empty, except for one thing. A mirror. Tall, black, smooth as glass. But deeper than space. He walked closer, and then froze. The reflection wasn't him. It looked like him, yes. Same face, same eyes. But the man in the mirror was wearing a different uniform, Earth Commander rank. His face was harder, colder. "You made it far," the mirror self said, smirking. "Farther than I thought," Ethan's voice caught. What is this?" The mirror self stepped forward, still inside the glass. "I knew. The version. A view that left the crew behind. The one who chose survival over sacrifice. The one who didn't crash because he never cared. Ethan clenched his fists. That's not who I am, isn't it? The mirror said. Then why did you touch the gift so easily? Why did you fall for her eyes? You were looking for a way out, Ethan. A new life. A second chance. Ethan turned away. I came here by accident. The mirror laughed. No, you came here because deep down you wanted to forget Earth, forget your past. And now, you're pretending to be a hero just to feel worthy again. Suddenly, the mirror shattered, but there was no sound. Darkness replaced the chamber. And then, a voice. The trial is not strength of body, it echoed. It is strength of truth. Who are you when no one is watching? Ethan fell to his knees. His mind spun. The truth burned more than pain. I am. He whispered. I am someone who ran. Silence. But I am not running anymore. The ground beneath him lit up. The pieces of the mirror rose, floating around him like stars. You may rise, the voice said. Ethan stood slowly. The air felt lighter, warmer. The chamber vanished, and a doorway opened in front of him. Vera stood there, her eyes filled with shock and something more, relief. You returned, she said. You sound surprised. I am, she whispered. No one ever does. Ethan stepped into the light, but as he did, a loud crash echoed from above. The mountain trembled. A guard ran toward them, panic in his voice. The council is moving. Kale is gathering warriors. He claims the trial was false. He calls it betrayal. Ethan looked at Vera. So, this isn't over, Vera nodded. No, it has just begun. The sky above the temple changed color, from calm blue to a deep burning orange, as if the stars were warning them. Ethan didn't sleep that night. He sat alone on the high balcony of the flame temple, watching the sky pulse with strange lights. The twin moons were no longer still. They flickered unnaturally, like blinking eyes. Behind him, the ancient doors of the temple slowly creaked open. A hooded figure stepped out. Silent. You were not invited, the figure said, voice soft and aged. Ethan stood slowly. I'm not here for permission. I'm here for answers. The hood fell back. An elder, one who had remained silent during every trial, looked at him with tired, silver eyes. You carry the heart, the elder said. That means you've earned a truth, one we've hidden for generations. Evan followed him down a staircase made of glowing stone. The walls around them were covered in symbols that moved like water. At the bottom, a sealed door opened with the warmth of his hand. Inside, a chamber of stars. Floating above them was a map of planets, constellations, and ancient paths between worlds. And in the center of it all was Earth. Ethan's eyes widened. You know Earth? The elder nodded. We did long ago. He waved his hand, and the stars shifted. A memory came to life, not words, but light and sound. A vision of war. Ethan saw ships, both human and alien, locked in a fierce battle. Above a burning planet, screams echoed. Explosions tore space apart. Then he saw something else, a glowing blue orb, just like the one Vera gave him, passed from a human commander to an alien queen. A peace offering, Ethan whispered. The elder spoke. Yes. Long ago, your people and ours tried to bond through the heart, but the human chosen back then broke the promise. He ran. And war followed, Ethan said quietly. The elder nodded. So we buried the truth. We locked the hearts away, until the stars told us another would come. Ethan stared at the vision, heart heavy. And that was me. You were not chosen by us, the elder said. You were chosen by the bond itself. It called to you, even before you crashed. Ethan turned toward him. So the crash wasn't random? No crash is random, the elder said. Not when the stars are involved. The room dimmed. Then, the elder looked him straight in the eyes. But now the council sees you as a threat. They fear a second betrayal. And Kale feeds that fear. Ethan's jaw tightened, because he wants Vera and her power. He wants control, the elder said. And he would rather burn the bond than bow to it. Suddenly, a loud boom shook the ground. Flames lit the sky outside. A guard rushed. In blood on his armor. The council chambers are under attack. Kale has moved early. He's calling it purification. The elder turned to Ethan. Then you must choose, run like the first human, or finish what the stars began. Ethan looked back at the floating orb of Earth. His voice was calm, but cold. No more running. He grabbed the staff beside the door, still pulsing with the energy of the heart. Behind him, the stars shifted one last time, showing a path. Ethan could no longer ignore, because this was no longer about survival. This was legacy. Asterisk. The message from Earth didn't arrive. It crashed into the sky. A giant tear of white light split through the clouds above the flame temple. Every being on the planet, alien and human alike, stopped what they were doing and looked up. From the sky, a sleek silver Earth Alliance ship broke through orbit, dropping fast like a falling blade. Ethan was already outside when it landed. The Earth shook. Winds roared. Fire trailed the edges of the hull as the ship touched down in the sacred valley, a place no human had ever been. The hatch opened, and out stepped Commander Tessa Ward, Earth's diplomatic envoy, and Ethan's former superior. She stared at him like a ghost had come back to life. "Ethan Reeve," she said sharply, "you were marked missing. We thought you were dead." "I was," he said quietly, "but now I'm something else." She looked around at the alien warriors watching from the cliffs. "We picked up a distress signal. And something strange in our scans. Bioenergy from this world is now connected to your DNA. What the hell did you do here?" Before he could answer, a voice rang out behind them. "He bound himself to a royal heir, violated our laws, and now calls himself a savior." Kale stepped forward, armed, armored, and not alone. Behind him marched dozens of warriors with burning spears, faces hidden behind red masks. The purifiers. Tessa raised her weapon. "Are we under attack?" "Not yet," Ethan said. "But it's coming." Kale's voice roared across the valley. "This bond is a threat to the balance. The human alliance will poison our blood. If the council won't stop it, we will." Vera appeared beside Ethan, her voice cold and clear. "If you strike here, Kale, you declare war, not just on Earth, but on the bond itself." Kale smiled darkly. "So be it." He raised his hand. The purifiers charged. Explosions lit the valley. Earth Marines fired stun rounds, while alien warriors clashed in flashes of fire and light. The sky burned with smoke. The old stone temple began to crack under the chaos. Ethan grabbed Tessa and pulled her behind cover. "You need to call your ship now." "I already did," she said. "But there's a problem. We're not the only ones who heard your signal." Ethan's eyes narrowed. "Who else is coming?" Tessa looked at the clouds above. "The outer colonies. They think you've joined a hostile alien empire. They're coming to erase it." Ethan felt the ground drop beneath his feet. "So either we stop this fight, or we start an interstellar war." Later, after the battle cooled and the injured were carried away, Ethan stood before the Flame Council. He held up the staff, still glowing with the heart's pulse. "I didn't come here to rule," he said, "and I didn't come here to destroy. But now I see, if we don't choose unity, someone else will choose war for us." He turned to Vera. "I don't know what kind of future we're building, but I know it won't survive if we keep fighting over who belongs and who doesn't." He looked up at the council. "Let me speak to Earth. Let me show them the truth. Not just words, but the bond." The elders murmured. One of them leaned forward. "Would you risk everything? Human, your life, your world, even her, to protect what you do not yet understand?" Ethan nodded. I already did. A quiet pause. Then the elder spoke. Then speak. To Earth, to the stars, to everyone. They gave him 1 minute. 1 minute to speak to two worlds holding their breath. Ethan stood alone on the high platform of the flame tower, a beam of white light shining down from the Earth Alliance ship above. A direct link, open to every leader, every commander, every voice of power across space. His words had to stop a war. He took the earpiece, closed his eyes, and spoke. My name is Ethan Reeve, human, pilot, survivor. A pause. I didn't plan to crash here. I didn't plan to touch the gift. And I didn't plan to fall into something sacred. But I did. Down below, Vera watched, silent. Her people watched too, warriors, elders, even Kale, chained but still burning with rage. I was afraid at first. I didn't understand this bond. I thought it was a mistake. A trap, but it changed me. It made me face my own failure and forced me to stop running. He looked up toward the stars, and I saw something here. A people who still believe in honor, in connection, in something more than just survival. And I saw her, Vera, not as an alien, but as a mirror. She's not my enemy, she's my equal, my partner, my choice. The silence across space held still. Maybe that scares you, he continued, that a human can love something we don't understand. But if love only exists where things make sense, then it's not love. It's just comfort. He lowered the mic. This is not an invasion. This is not betrayal. It's a beginning, if you let it be. In the quiet that followed, no one moved, no ships fired. No orders were given. Then one by one, the Earth vessels slowly powered down their weapons. And the outer colony fleet turned away. The war ended before it began, but the story wasn't over yet. That night, under the twin moons, Ethan sat beside Vera near the lake where they first met. The same silver waters, the same soft wind, the same glow in her eyes. You changed everything, she said. I didn't mean to. Exactly why you did. She took his hand, then hesitated. There's one last truth, she said. About the heart. Ethan looked at her. What is it? Vera's eyes shimmered. It doesn't just bind two souls. It remembers them, across lifetimes. Ethan frowned. What do you mean? The first human, the one who broke the bond long ago. His name was Eli Reeve. His breath caught. My grandfather, he whispered. He disappeared during the Mars peace mission. Never came back. Vera nodded slowly. The stars never forget, she said. And sometimes they send a second chance. Through blood. Ethan stared at the water, stunned. The past had never left him. It had simply waited, through him. Later, as the flames of the temple burned high in celebration, the elders stepped forward. Your bond is now complete, they said. But you may choose your path. Ethan turned to Vera. She nodded. You don't have to stay. I know. He looked toward the stars, then back at her. But I want to. And with that, the stars welcomed a new chapter, not of war, but of something far rarer in the galaxy.